Alright, in this video we're going over P92, the backside of the Go Math homework. Alright, number one, a store has a display case with cherry, peach, and grapefruit chews. There are 160 fruit chews in the display case, so that's our total. Given that 25% of the fruit chews are cherries, 40% are peach, how many grapefruit chews are in the display? Okay, so we have 160 total. 25% are cherry. 40% are peach. How many grapefruit chews are in the display? So if 25% are cherry, 40% are peach, that's a total of 65% that are not grape. So to find out how many are grape, I take the 100%, all of it, minus the percent that is cherry and peach, and I'll get my new number, 35%. So now I'm back to a problem that looks very similar to what we worked with. The total is 160, and I want to know what 35% of 160 is. So 35% of 160, and now we're back to following those steps. Turn it into a ratio or a fraction, and then change this to multiply by that number, and I put the number over 1. Now you can do some cross simplifying, do your multiplication, and you should be good to go. But again, if you need more help after getting this set up, don't hesitate, raise your hand. Kelly has a ribbon that is 60 inches long. She cuts 40% off. While working on the project, she decides she needs 75% of the piece she cut off. How many inches of ribbon does Kelly end up using for her project? All right, we got a two-stepper. Okay, so we have 60%, or excuse me, 60 inches. She cuts 40% of the ribbon off. So first thing we need to do is find 40% of 60. So we follow the steps. Okay, cross simplify. Let's see, 20 will go into both of those. $40 times 3 is 120. 5 times 1 is 5. Simplify that. And 5 goes into 120. Let's see, 24 times. So 24, that 24, that tells me how many inches. So she cuts 40% off of the ribbon for an art project. While working on the project, she decides she only needs 75% of the piece she cut off. So 24 inches is how big the piece that she cut off was, and she realized she only needs 75% of this. So our next step, don't erase your work, just get more scratch paper. Our next step is, now that we know she has 24 inches, we need to know what 75% of 24 is, because she realizes she only needs 75% of that 24. So we go through the steps again. Okay, we can do our cross simplifying, multiply, and then check, and then simplify the answer at the end. You should always end up with just one number for your answer. Okay, so I'll let you go ahead and finish that math, but again, if you need any extra help or clarification, don't hesitate to raise your hand. Okay, 3 of the following statements are true. Which one is not true? So the absolute value, remember, absolute value just means how far away from 0. So how many units away from 0 12 is. So negative 12 is 12 units from 0, or positive 12. And 12 is in fact bigger than 1. So I'll let you go ahead and do using the same idea, Absolute value of 20 is just 20. Absolute value of 10 is just 10. So 20 is greater than 10. Yes, that's true. Do the same thing with these and decide which one of those two is not true, because I just showed you that these two are true. So now you're just left with these two, doing the same thing that I did over here, deciding which one of these is not true. Okay, my Yuki can type 135 words in 3 minutes. How many words can she expect to type in 8 minutes? Okay, this is a ratio. So we have 135 words to 3 minutes. And we want to find out the equivalent amount of words she could type in 8 minutes. Okay. So that's how we set this problem up. If you need help getting it from the setup to the value, don't hesitate to raise your hand. Number 5, which percent represents the model? Remember, percent just means per 100. So now you're just counting to see how many are shaded in. And just remember, each column that's completely shaded in represents 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns completely shaded in, and then 3 additional little squares. So 63 shaded in. Number 6, so write that as a percent. Number 6, about 3/5 of the students at Roosevelt Elementary School live within 1 mile of the school. What percent of the students live within 1 mile of the school? Okay, few different ways to solve this problem. We can change 3/5 to be equivalent to a fraction or a ratio with a denominator of 100, because percent means per 100. So once we find out that number, that will be our percent. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to change it into a decimal and then change that decimal into a percent. Okay. So a few different ways to do it. I'll let you choose how you do it. If you need help, additional help after the setup, don't hesitate, raise your hand. Or if you just want me to double check your work, don't hesitate, raise your hand, and we'll check it out. All right, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.